This is heartbreaking. Oh jeez, what the? Oh my gosh. Oh, another abandonment. Oh. Internally, not physically, but her hormonal stress is off the chart. I bet a lot of PTSD clients struggle with that. Man, you guys really wanted me to analyze this show? Holy crap, dude. Hello friends, welcome back. My name is Benoit Kim, a UPenn educated psychotherapist, and I will be decoding the human condition and relevant psychological concepts from each video that I watch. What does Violet Evergarden episode 1 reveal about post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD and the psychological cost of war, emotional intelligence and development, grief and loss, and identity and reintegration? This is the first episode of the Violet Evergarden series due to overwhelmingly popular requests, especially given my military background. So I'm very excited for this, and thanks for the recommendation, and let's tune in. That was a flashback. I'm guessing that guy is someone of importance to her, and she's either still reconciling with his death, or maybe he is MIA in the action, missing in action. Is this about Violet? So this is about Violet. Oh, it is. Lieutenant Colonel, that's very high up. Oh, so some knowledge about military background. I only can speak to Army, which was the branch I was at, not Marines, Navy, or Air Force. So in the military, if you're a medical officer or doctors with MD, medical doctor degree, if you're a medical doctor who are in the military, you start your rank at as an officer. It's a lot higher. We call that O, whereas enlisted, like regular soldiers, like infantry, they're E. They're called enlisted E, and there's a rank, E1 to E9. As an officer, you're an O, O1 to O9. The highest is, of course, a 4-star general, which hasn't happened in the U.S. military history in a long, long time, since we haven't been in war, like major World War II in a long time. So I could be wrong, but I'm guessing that Lieutenant Colonel Higgins, he's a medical doctor and a medical officer. That's why he's at such a high level of Lieutenant Colonel, which is a very high rank, even as a medical officer. And I'm guessing that he's either stressed with anticipation about this patient, which is Violet, who I guess is trained and raised up as a weapon, a deadly human weapon, that she has a seemingly appearance of human, but she has no heart. And that's why she's a deadly weapon. But now I guess this weapon, air quote, has been decommissioned and in remission because maybe the war is over and maybe she barely survived the war. But I'm curious to see the juxtaposition of Higgins' assumption or pretext about who Violet is, this human weapon, versus the actual reality of who Violet is. Is she truly a sociopath who became a soldier for the greater good? Since a lot of special forces have sociopathic tendencies. The difference is they chose to fight for the country versus to be a massive serial killers. And about 1% of humans are sociopathic by nature, and I mean genetics. And again, please do not diagnose your friends as sociopath just because they skipped a dinner or they ghosted you. That's what a professional mental health experts need to be able to diagnose with a lot of clinical data. But a lot of special forces like Navy SEAL Team 6, a lot of them do have sociopathic tendencies. Why? Because they do not lose sleep over killing someone, torturing someone, which is needed for the highest level of intelligence and for the safety of the country. It's not good or bad. It's just what it is, the reality of war. Because as I shared in Free Run, in the previous series that I covered, war is the single greatest evil out there. War robs joy and happiness and lives and destroys art and assumption versus who Violet actually is. And whether is she truly heartless or is that a defensive mechanism? Because she was raised since she was a child to be a killing machine for the sake of the mission. And whether she just learns, it's a learned behavior. We call that conditioning or behaviorism. That's a technical term. She was conditioned to be a killing machine, but she was an innocent girl once upon a time, just like all of us with innocent youth. And whether she learns to disconnect and detach from her emotions to become this killing machine to serve her country. I guess we shall find out. Her eyes are crazy blue. Wow, I got lost in her eyes. She's looking for Major Gilbert, okay. I'm guessing he meant a great deal to her. Uh-oh, his injuries were severe. Oh no, is he dead? This is interesting. So even in this quick scene of Violet meeting Lieutenant Colonel Higgins for the first time, she saluted right away. And saluting your upper ranking officer and upper ranking soldier is the first thing they teach you in the military. I served 6 years in the US military, in the Army to be specific, like I said. This, again, the undertones a psychological phenomena of conditioning and behaviorism, like I just said. She's been conditioned her life to, I don't know what her rank is, but very much a lot higher than she is. So she freaked out. She's like, I'm sorry, I apologize. I forgot. You're a high-ranking officer. But then what does Higgins say? Hey, Violet, relax, sit down, chill. You're a patient. We're not in military compounds. It's okay. You're a patient now. This, again, talks about her struggle with her transition going from a soldier, a killing machine, to a civilian. And this really speaks to my heart, and I see why so many of you guys recommended me cover and analyze Violet Evergarden after free run. Not just my military background, but honestly, this is heartbreaking because a lot of my soldier battle buddies, as we call them, a lot of my battle buddies continue to struggle to reintegrate from the battlefield to off the field, to the field of life, field of connections, field of their families, raising their kids, working other civilian jobs. And it's not their fault. And here's why. US government, because that's my country, US military is exceptional and helping you, train you to best prepare you from transitioning from civilian to a soldier through basic combat training, BCT. But US government is horrible at helping you detransition and convert you back from the soldier back to a civilian. Why? Because we've become useless to the government after we've served our purposes. We went from a pawn on a chess game to a decomposed and disposed chess piece. We no longer serve any purposes. And this is really dark, but I really feel called to share this because I'm feeling a little bit emotional because a lot of my veteran friends, a lot of my patients struggle from exactly what Violet's struggling with here. So I want to share this for education purposes. About 1 in 6 veterans commit suicide every single day in the United States of America. 1 in 6 soldiers, 1 in 6 veterans commit suicide. And there's so many veterans fall prey to addiction, severe mental health struggle because of loneliness, anxiety, PTSD, so many other comorbidities and struggles and illnesses. Because US military teaches us how to go from civilian to soldier, but they don't prepare you the other around. They just give you GI Bill, send you some money, military benefits, and off you go. Good luck. And even here, poignant, very beautifully and powerfully so, Violet is displaying her conditioned behavior. I'm sorry, I forgot you're high-ranking officer. And that is a struggle that so many veterans go through. Yes, a lot of us chose to be a soldier voluntarily, so nobody forced us to become one. But many of us joined because we love our country, because of patriotism, because we want to guard and safeguard and protect the ones around us, because we reap the benefits of being a US citizen. So yes, it is a voluntary choice. But don't the lives of veterans and soldiers matter? Shouldn't the government care a little bit more, way more, about their lives, even after they've served their purposes?
俺のことを覚えてくれてたんだね。
決戦前夜の2回お会いしました。
そうだね。
Oh, so they've known each other. Okay. Makes sense. He's very high ranking. Lieutenant Colonel.
何してたの？
ギルベルト少佐に
Oh,
報告書を書いておりました。
heartbreaking.
文字を書くことは状態復帰にもいいと言われましたので。
So that's very true. Just quick therapeutic insights. Writing is great for mental health and emotional processing. That's a technical term. Processing our emotions. And in the technical term, we call it journaling. You're writing down your thoughts onto paper. Pen to paper or finger to keyboard. You're downloading and offloading all your stresses or your mental distress, all of your burden and struggle and internal reality. You're expressing outwardly onto a piece of paper. You're not editing it. There is no grammar. You're not sharing this to anyone. It's a sacred space of healing and emotional processing between ourselves and a piece of paper. Journaling is one of the most simple yet powerful and effective therapeutic techniques I teach all of my clients, especially clients who've repressed and suppressed their thoughts and trauma and their emotions, especially for most of my male clients who were never taught that it was okay to express their feelings. You don't always have to be the protector. You don't always have to confine your worth to being this machoism male. What is that? What does that even mean? I'm a 6-foot male. I've worked out for 14 years. I'm very fit. I work out 5 days a week at 5 a.m. I'm a veteran. But I cry when I watch movies. I'm getting emotional talking about this right now. Expression is the opposite of depression. What we don't express gets depressed, and we become depressed as a result over time. So Violet is 100% right. Writing our thoughts and feelings onto a piece of paper, preferably over computer, because on your computer you can get distracted by social media and a bunch of other things. So pen and paper is probably what I recommend to most of my clients. It's free, low commitment, and you just do that for 10 to 15 minutes a day. Put a timer. Literally, try this out tonight for many of you guys. Set a timer on your phone for 10 to 15 minutes. You literally just pen to paper write 10 to 15 minutes every single day. Try that out for a week. And I promise you, you can come back to this episode and comments that, oh, Benoit, it didn't work. Let me know. Call me out. Try this out for a week. It's free, low effort, and it has this proportional outcome for your mental health and emotions. 10 or 15 minutes journaling once a day. That's a great place to start. Take a shot, try it out, and comment your thoughts afterwards. Did it work? Did it not work?
それで少佐は
She's still asking. Well, she's persistent. This is the second time she's asking. She wants the truth.
安心したよ、バイオレットちゃん。
I'm guessing Major Gilbert is a horrible poker player because I just saw a telltale sign of, I guess, his white lie. He just put his hand in his pocket. And we know that's significant because the camera zoomed in to his pocket moment. So I'm guessing that Lieutenant Colonel Higgins is a horrible pocket player. I'm guessing that Lieutenant Colonel Higgins is a horrible poker player because we can already tell his signs when he's feeling uncomfortable and air quote lying about the truth.
俺はあいつから頼まれてきたんだ。
See? That's his first white lie. And we can tell from Nurse's face as well.
ではご無事なのですね。
Another, he finched his fist in his pocket. So another lie. So I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What do you guys think about this? Do you think that Higgins' white lie is justified? Or do you think it's better to rip the band-aid off your wounds than this ongoing lie? Because whether it's a white lie, which is benign in nature, or a malicious lie, which is the point of deceiving others for your gains. They're very different. But the bottom line is anytime you create a white lie or regular lie, you have to use more lies to cover up your tracks. So now because Higgins was unable to distress, tolerance, that's a technical term, tolerating distress, being comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because Higgins was so discomforted by his own discomfort of telling Violet the truth. Yes, he meant well. But I personally think he made a grave mistake. He should have told the truth, regardless of his fear that Violet's feelings might be hurt. We often make these decisions in life to lie to other people, white lies in many cases, with great intention. But you know what's the undertone of white lie? Is we do not believe and we do not give other people the dignity that they deserve, which is truth. We do not respect their resilience. We do not respect their dignity and integrity that they can handle and tolerate the truth. No matter how painful and uncomfortable truth may be, we're not the judge. We're not the prosecutor. We're not the courtroom. It's not our job to decide can they handle the truth. That's why doctors always tell the truth to their patients and their family members when the surgeries didn't go well, or even when the surgeries go wrong and patients die. Because my wife, she's a medical doctor. So we owe it to people because of the dignity and integrity. We owe it to them to tell them the truth. And we often step back from that discomfort because it's not just for the sake of other people. Yes, we care about their feelings. Yes, 100%. And we are unable to tolerate this visceral, uncomfortable feeling of breaking that truth to them. I personally think that Higgins' ambiguous healing and grieving process for Violet. And grieving process is made so difficult, and grief counseling is very impossible to do when there's no closure. We need a closure. Closure means we know what happened. That's traumatic, yes. But we also know the outcome and conclusion of that trauma. Once we know the conclusion, then we can start the healing process. But in this case, because of Higgins' white lie, she doesn't know the conclusion. She doesn't know what happened to Major Gilbert. So what happens if Violet continues to write countless more letters with no return? Now she's going to guess, did Major Gilbert get mad at her? Did she forget about her existence? Did he abandon her because she failed, air quote? Think about all these negative speculations and assumptions that Violet is now going to make from this point forward because of Higgins' white lie. Oh, sorry guys, I'm getting heated because this is getting personal to me. But what do you guys think below? Do you guys agree with my perspective, or do you think that what Higgins did is understandable? Comment your thoughts below.
合流すればよろしいでしょうか。
Oh boy, when should I join him?
とにかく
To heaven? Hopefully not soon.
着替えてその間に車を出してもらうから
Okay, I'm glad that Higgins at least only stopped at one lie. He didn't continue build on.
間違って運ばれちゃってたみたい。
Oh no.
ブローチ。エメラルドのブローチが。
Gilbert.
あなたが見つかった現場と駐屯地にあった荷物はないなら探しに行かなければ。
バイオレットちゃん
Oh,
いただいたものなのです。
gift by
少
Gilbert?
佐にいた
Oh,
だいたものなのです。
this is heartbreaking. Oh, this is heartbreaking.
探しておくから
I don't think I could analyze more than one episode per weekend. It's getting too personal to me.
俺に同行する
Oh man, this is
そ
heavy.
れがあいつの命令だ
命令。
So Higgins is smart because he's using Gilbert as an excuse and scapegoat that this is his order, so he must comply. So that's very strategic, but again, another white lie. Another lie. Now Violet just wants to see Gilbert. Where is he? Why is he not responding to me? Why is he ignoring me?
退院祝い好みが分かんなくて3つ
Oh
買ったんだ
man,
けど
this is a very heavy show. Great animation and very cinematic visuals though. Wow. I think this show is from 2018 or a while ago, but this cinematic quality is amazing.
では子犬を。
はい
That depicts her loneliness. She longs for attachment.
以前少佐の兄上にお前はギルベルトの犬だなと言われましたので
Oh, jeez. What the? Oh my gosh. They really treated her like a killing machine. They disrespected and disregarded her humanity.
いえ
Man, she has so much trauma besides PTSD and military. She has so much trauma. She bit that toy like a dog because it's been conditioned into her mind. It's been drilled to her mind that she's a dog. She's nothing but a weapon. She's nothing but Major Gilbert's dog. Another trauma. It's heartbreaking. Man, you guys really wanted me to analyze this show? Holy crap, dude. Oh, so this is Violet's last scene with Gilbert? Oh yeah, dude. Gilbert's 100% dead.
連絡を取ったらご夫妻とも喜んで君の身元引受人になることを了承してくださったよ。
Oh, so Evergarden is the last name of her new foster family, which is the relatives of Major Gilbert.
よく来たわね。
Oh, I wonder what Evergarden was.
バイオレットちゃん。
That's why it's Violet Evergarden. It's her foster family. That's very sweet of Major Gilbert.
ご挨拶して。いや、お辞儀でいいん
See?
だけど。
Going back to what I said earlier, the level of conditioning and behaviorism for Violet is so deep. Almost to her Evergarden, she's not a soldier or a high-ranking officer, yet instinctively and reflexively, Violet saluted. That's conditioning. And here's the point. Deconditioning and unlearning is way harder and more effortful than conditioning and learning. But we need to decondition and unlearn unhealthy behaviors and unhelpful knowledge we've acquired over our time. But here's another quick scene to show the level of deeply embedded conditioning that Violet is struggling with. And I'm sure this is just tip of an iceberg, and we'll see many other countless examples, I'm guessing, of how Violet continues to struggle to adapt and adjust to civilian worlds. And I know these because, again, I'm a veteran myself. And thankfully, I adjusted well because of therapy support, great friends. I'm not afraid of expressing my feelings because I didn't struggle as much stigma, thankfully. Because I grew up with a single mother. So I went through enough hardships to know that I need to rely on other people. But a lot of my other battle buddies, they continue to struggle and open up. And as a result, they're isolated, social isolation, and are lonely as a result. So we'll see how in other aspects and other scenes to see how Violet continues to struggle with her reintegrating back into society.
4年も対戦が続きましたからね。
4 years.
復旧にはまだまだ時
It's
間
a
がかかり
considerable
そう
amount
で
of
す。
time. So do these family know that Gilbert passed away? Oh, her hands are still weak. Oh no.
ごめんなさい。無理しなくていいのよ。
Oh,
大変。やけどするわ。
oh man.
問題ありません。暑さは感じません。
Are those mechanical arms?
今氷を持ってきて。
Are we about to go full metal alchemist?
Full Metal Alchemist.
アダマンキンってできたの
Oh, they are mechanical arms. She lost both of her arms. Fuck.
でいずれ支障なくなると思われます。
似合ってるよ。
ほんと。
Nice. Kind of look like a butler's or
じゃあ、
driver's gloves, butler
会
gloves.
社に戻らなくてはならん。バイオレットちゃん。ティファニーさんのおっしゃることを
Tiffany.
よく聞く
Great
んだよ。
name.
いいのよ。本当の親だと思って。
Aw, what a beautiful foster mother. Oh, look at that kind
私には
smile.
もともと親はおりませんので、代わり
Oh,
も不要です。
fuck, dude. Oh, geez, this show gets darker and darker. See, even the way she's saying that, right? Defensive mechanism.
息子がいたんだけ戦で亡くなってしまって。
私は亡くなった子供の代わりにはなり得ません。
Jeez. So Violet is saying that not with the intention to hurt Tiffany, but that's her emotional disconnections and her apathy. And it almost comes of it abrasive, right? It's like, Jesus, you're so disrespectful, especially in a Japanese culture. I'm sure this is in Japan because she has blonde hair, right? But in the Japanese culture or even Asian culture, because I'm of Korean descendant, that is so disrespectful, bluntly so. But again, Violet is not bad. She's not disrespectful for the sake of. She's so apathetic. She's so depressed. She's so traumatized that she has no emotional resonance. She has no emotional capacity to reciprocate We call that emotional reciprocity. Reciprocating what I'm receiving, like give and receive, give and receive. All healthy relationships on an emotional and interpersonal level is about giving love and receiving love. Not giving and taking. I'm not talking about strings attached. I'm talking about giving and receiving. And many people that knows how to love other people, they don't know how to love themselves. And hear me loud and clear. Unless you learn how to love yourself first and foremost, you will never be able to receive love truly. And that is a struggle a lot of my clients have, especially a lot of my male clients. And that is what we're seeing here with Violet. That's why she's saying savage things like, I cannot be a replacement for your son. I never had my parents, so I don't need a new parent. And we're also seeing her orphan background, Violet's. It makes sense that she was an orphan without parents. So Major Gilbert or military probably took her in and conditioned her and trained her to be this killing machine that she became. And hopefully through the next 9 episodes, she learns to decondition and unlearn and reclaim her humanity, reclaim her human side, and let go of her killing side, because war is over.
バイオレットちゃん、ここで幸せに暮らすことがギルベルトの望みなんだ。
Higgins tries to remedy that by using Gilbert again.
わかったね。
Oh, jeez. It's kind of manipulative. Higgins using Gilbert to force Violet to accept love.
どうして私をここに
Oh,
置くのですか
another abandonment.
だって武器としての価値がなくなったからですか
What did I say earlier? That why law is going to create more and more stories and negativity that Violet is telling herself. And a lot of orphans, not just orphans, I grew up with a single mother because my dad was just not a good dad, right? So I've also struggled with abandonment issues for a long time. It took me years of therapy, took me becoming a psychotherapist myself, reading a lot of personal development and self-help books because I'm very curious. It took me years of journey, and I still have yet to completely heal. There is no such thing as being cured. The scars will inevitably still be left behind. The difference is the trauma, which is a wound. It's an open cut. Trauma literally in medical term means an open scar. That's what trauma means in a medical term. But in psychologically, trauma is an open wound. It hurts. It's still bleeding. It's very sensitive and delicate. But once you start the healing journey, that open cut, that open wound gradually becomes healed over time and becomes a scar. So you still could feel it. It's still there. You see the scar. But when you touch it, it's not agitating and it's not hurting. Why? Because you healed. And that's what healing is. You will not be able to get rid of the scar because what happened to us becomes a part of who we are. It does not define who we are. It's not the most defining characteristic and hallmark of who we are, but it is a part of who we are. And we call that epigenetics in our field. That's the nurture, right? Nature and nurture, because it's always both, even though we always ask, is it nature or nurture? It's both. Literature and science already established that. But here Violet is feeling abandonment again. She's like, why isn't Gilbert responding back to me? Why is he abandoning me? Why is he leaving me here with this abandonment? Because remember, she was abandoned as a child due to unknown circumstances. That's why she put her identity into the marker and the box and the container of tool, a dog, a killing machine. So now her self-worth and self-esteem is in the rock bottom because she lost both of her arms. So why is Major Gilbert leaving me here? Is it because I'm useless? And Higgins like, no, the war is over. Oh, I'm only halfway through this episode, dude. This episode's so dark. And from human emotions. She's really been trained as like a dog. That's why she has no sense of shame or uncomfortness or nervousness about being nude to a stranger. Man, her PTSD is way deeper than I initially thought. But with that being said, you want to have a purpose in life, especially for a lot of veterans. That's why, like I said, a lot of them leave the military life to start their own company, work incredibly hard, pursuing other purposeful and meaningful careers, like writing a book for a lot of special forces and Navy SEALs, starting a podcast. That sense of purpose, that North Star, gives you meaning in life. If you don't know where you're going, you will not go anywhere. Without a compass, you'll be lost.
目を離した隙にゾロが
ずっとやってたのか。休憩も取らずに。
長時間の作戦には慣れています。
She pulled an all-nighter? Again, her struggle and her difficulty adjusting from the military life to civilian life.
書かれた住所の通りに手紙を届ける
I
んだ
mean,
よ。
she'll be every horrible corporation's favorite because she is voluntarily being exploited.
俺帰るから。
Oh, not all night. She just hadn't taken any break. Jeez. Is she going to be there tomorrow morning still?
夜間の配達やってるとこもあるのか。
Violet is going to do that.
まだ無理。バイオレット
Is
ちゃん
oh, he recognized his company logo.
何やってるの？
配達です。
Yo, she's doing nighttime delivery. Dude, she's a machine, dude.
いや、俺配達は明日のつもりだったんだけど。
She was going to work all night if Higgins didn't see her.
退院したばかりなんだし。
Wow.
問題ありません。
あるんだよ
Yeah, Violet was
問題が
released from the hospital. She was
Violet,
discharged
huh?
a day ago.
食べていいよ。
Dude, oh man, I really feel sad for her.
食べます。
食べた
And
ら
she announces,
会社
I'm
まで
going
送っ
to
ていくよ
eat. Dude, she's the ChatGPT before ChatGPT.
エヴァーガーデン家は身元引受人にはなってくれるそうだ。
She's not gonna go.
君が成人するまで。
I hope she
でも
does.
屋敷に置くのは。
He's not going to work.
問題あったんだな。
お前
いらねえよ。
I hope those humor and that human companion joy slowly robs on her and she gets better.
君はギルベルトから最後にどんな命令をもらった？
逃げて自由に生きろと。
Live freely. Dying wish.
それから
君は小さい頃からずっと軍にいて、
Child
任務を遂
soldier.
行するだけの毎日を送ってきた。これから君はたくさんのことを学ぶよ。
I really hope she gets to expand her horizon and really learns to live freely as Gilbert's dying wish.
楽に生きられるかもしれない。
We don't know what we don't know.
いることをまだ知らない。
Accumulative stress. Body keeps a score is a great resource for that. Her hormonal stress is off the chart, I bet. A lot of PTSD clients struggle with that. Hormonal imbalance, accumulative toll. That's why a lot of veterans develop lifelong illnesses physically, mentally, emotionally years down the line because they don't know what they don't know. That's why we need to seek professional consults and professional support. She's adjusting, right? Another symbolism of her beginning of her adjustment journey from soldier to civilian. How long has passed?
ドールさん、
いえ、私はバイオレットです。
Who's Miss Dole?
ミス・バイオレット、代筆を頼みたいんだけど、
代筆。
僕字が書けなくて、
Illiteracy? Okay, that makes sense.
だから代わりに手紙を書いてほしいんだ。
He just randomly requesting a stranger, or is it because she works here so he knows she's an employee?
その田舎にいる幼馴染に
Love letter? He's blushing.
他の男との縁談があるって聞いて、だから
Not love letter.
伝えてほしいんだ。
A letter to plead for love.
初めて優しくしてくれたのは
君だった。
That was Gilbert and Violet. Another flashback. Oh man, yeah. Gilbert was her parents, her brother, her family, her companion, her everything. The level of devastating loss. Holy shit. What the? Whoa. Gee, what? Whoa. Dude, she was a machine, dude. Holy crap, dude. Oh, that's how she lost her arms? Who's this?
愛してる。で、よろしいでしょうか。
Huh? She's Miss Dole?
愛してる。
She's going to learn the language and feeling of love? Is that foreshadowing?
旦那様、自動式人形サービスのご利用。
Auto memory doll service. Who is she? Also, why is she wearing so provocatively? This is post office, right?
あれ
I guess sex appeal works even for post services?
どうしてわかるのですか？先ほどの方の愛してるが
Oh, memory
なぜ
doll.
わかるのですか？
自動式人形の仕事がしたい。
Auto memory though? What is that?
タイプライターなら操作可能です。
聞きたいのはどうしてその仕事が。
知りたいのです。
Want to know what?
愛してるを知りたいのです。
Wow.
少佐は
So
最後の
heartbreaking.
命令の後にその言葉を私におっしゃいました。
What? Did Gilbert say that as romantically or as familiar, like family wise? Or both?
理解できないのです。
Man, so much trauma. She doesn't even know what love means or feels like.
でも
This is her pursuit. She found her purpose. She found her new North Star. Is this when Gilbert tells her I love you?
愛してる。
Fuck. Oh. Oh man. Wow. That was way more intense than I thought. Yeah, I just need some time to recollect myself. Man, that was a very emotional, very heartfelt. This show really touches my heart way closer than I thought. And the PTSD, the overview, the summary I read, nowhere comes even encompassing the level of this anime has. I can already tell that this will be one of my favorite animes of all time, alongside Free Run. But yeah, while I go cry off the screen, if you found my analysis and reaction helpful, I really hope that you press that and smash that thumbs up and subscribe to catch the next episode of Free Run and Violet Evergarden. And comment what you thought about my speculations and my analysis. And we'll be doing, like I said, Violet Evergarden. So we need another new series for you guys to recommend. So recommend your thoughts and shows below. And you can also email me at discovermorepodcast@gmail.com to see how I can possibly work with you for your own personal growth journey. Till next time, peace.